Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Digitally Uploaded Podcast, the podcast for digitally-downloaded.net, and it's 2019. Play the music. I'm not going to play any music. So, it's the new year. It's New Year, it's exciting. There's a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of stuff happening. It's 2019, probably one of the last couple of years for this generation of consoles, which is pretty cool. And with that, we have a new generation of DDNet contributors. So we've actually got one of them on the podcast now, which is very exciting. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Lee. I joined, I want to say late November or early December, whichever. And yeah, just a new contributor. Just figured I'd drop my 2 cents on video games because that's all I do.
That's reasonable. I mean, it's probably more valuable than mine. So.
It's really more of a justification of my lifestyle.
But whatever. Being American, your 2 cents is more valuable than mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a conversion rate thing?
Economic joke. Smart. Oh God. You would have just heard it just then, but also yeah. Hello. Hi, Ginny.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I thought you were going to go to Matt again, but that's okay.
No, I'm avoiding that.
Cool. Hi. I'm clearly not Matt. I'm meeting Lee for the first time.
Hello,
and I guess it's going to be great. This is going to be totally fine. 2019, new year, new Dead or Alive games. A lot for me to talk about, a lot for me to look forward to and stare at creepily. That's fine. Love it. Love podcasting. Happy to be back.
Speaking of staring at things creepily, Matt, hello.
Hello. Why did everybody's introductions sound like a Alcoholics Anonymous circle? Everybody say hello and who they are.
Pretty much just because that's my new vibe, and I find it very effective that you've called me out on that on this podcast.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it's new year, new me.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. Well, now that we have all introduced ourselves, we're going to go into a little bit of news, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Epic Games Store being consistently pretty okay. For those of you who don't know, Epic is now directly competing, I can't speak English anymore, competing with Valve in the PC storefront marketplace race, I guess. And they're releasing their own store called the Epic Games Store. They recently snapped up The Division 2, which is actually quite a big deal, because that game will make a lot of money. And they've also been, steadily releasing free games every 2 weeks, I believe. So last series was Subnautica, and now this time around it's What Remains of Edith Finch, which is pretty good. So if you're not adverse to making a new account for a new game, game platform thing, I would actually recommend it. It's pretty good so far. I've had no problems with it. Downloads reasonably well, acts reasonably well, and it's a better cut for developers as well, which is nice.
Yeah, nothing like free for giving the developers a good amount of money.
Literally...
Major profitability from free.
Exposure.
Yeah, it's all about the exposure.
I'm not even going to start with this, okay? All right, moving on then. Who wants to go next?
All right, I'll dive in. We got Monster. So Geralt is getting himself into another portal this year. Last year he jumped into Soul Calibur's world, and now he's jumping into Monster Hunter world, which is, the thing about it,
as a monster,
at least, yes, as a monster, yeah, he's going to be a fully no. The thing that kills me about this personally, though, is that it's not going to be released at the same time as PC, and if it's following the same pattern of release or updates or whatever like parallel they have with the PC version as opposed to the PS and Xbox ones, it'll probably take like another year or so for it to show up on PC, which is, that's what they got to do. But there's not really any details as far as like what exactly it's going to entail. There's a little trailer that you can find online, but whether or not you'll be able to just play directly as Geralt, or if you'll just get a costume of some kind for him. But it says that they're going to blend the RPG mechanics, this is a direct quote, blending the RPG mechanics of The Witcher 3 with Monster Hunter World's game system. So maybe they'll introduce signs as like something that you can use instead of grenades or whatever else. That could be
That would be sick. Also, I would like to point out a level of professionalism that Lee's actually quoting from a source, which is probably more than I've ever done on this podcast.
He is new.
Yeah, he'll learn.
Is that a newbie mistake? I'm sorry.
Yeah, being
it is.
factually
We don't
correct
quote
is
things.
wrong.
We just have opinions.
Mhm. Fair enough.
Yeah,
But I must admit,
I'll tone down the professionalism.
the
then.
one thing I've always wanted in Monster Hunter is Gerald. So
Gerald.
Yeah, I mean, of all the things, I mean, forget about the archaic like sharpening stone system that's still around from the legacy days. No, I love that. Let's keep that in. But give me Gerald. That's fine.
Gerald.
Jerry of the River.
Get Gerald. Okay.
Yeah,
He's actually a badass in Soul Calibur. If anybody's played him.
Yeah, he's also just a badass in general.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, mechanically, you know what I mean.
No,
You know what I mean.
fighting you on this.
He hits things and they stay down. So it's pretty
I
good.
can respect that.
Really? Yeah.
I hit things. I would expect them to slow down too.
That was very dark.
It's
Just
just
Alan
new me.
tapping children in the alleyway.
Yeah, now I like wear razor blades in my gloves. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that and my out of curricular activities, Matt. That was good news for the week.
Me. Final Fantasy trading card game on iPhone and iPad and things. That's pretty cool. That was announced this week. And I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it's actually going to be like the physical trading card game because it doesn't look like it, but it doesn't make sense that Square Enix would have two different kind of trading card games. So I'm hoping it's like the physical one because that's actually a really good card game.
Now,
And
I
I'd
actually
love
have
to
a
have
quick
an iPad.
question
Yeah.
about that. Because I saw this online earlier today, and I was under the impression from the article that it was going to be a JP release only. Is that not right?
Currently confirmed for Japan only, but I wouldn't count on it not getting localized. I mean, Square Enix knows that there's a lot of fans of Final Fantasy in the West, and they're generally pretty good at localizing them. So while there's certainly a bunch of Final Fantasy or Square Enix games that are not translated into English from phones, I don't think this will be one. I think it'll come at some point. I mean,
Okay.
if they put that bloody All the Bravest on English,
Yeah, if they decided to do that,
the least they could do is
literally
this.
anything else.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm personally a huge fan of Final Fantasy Record Keeper. I've been playing that game since the North American release. I just popped it up on my phone just to see what the name of the company was. DENA, DENA is their
DENA,
localization company. So hopefully they'll pick it up. But what I saw from the screenshots was basically they're just reusing the same sprites that they made for Record Keeper with like, I don't know, what looks like a pretty easy to make board. Some reused cards like from Triple Triad that they've had lying around forever. So it seems like it's relatively low effort, but they could, it could be.
You say that
could
like it's
be
a
kind of fun.
bad thing. I mean, those sprites are great, and
Yeah.
as long as they catch the Final Fantasy vibe and use the musics and stuff, I'll
If it
be
works, don't
happy.
Oh, and another great thing about Record Keeper, just the remixes that they do. Like I was just listening on YouTube, just randomly to one of like the 30th anniversary, whatever like remixes they did specifically for the game. They're fantastic. Like I don't know, I'm real big on the Final Fantasy music. I've always liked Nobuo Uematsu, and anybody who can do a remix of anything he does justice is +1 in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the card game's out when, Matt?
Don't know.
Just 2019.
It was. I don't think it's actually.
I'm sorry, I kind of segued.
I don't think they've given a release date, and like we said,
All right.
they haven't actually even announced an English version yet. But
Okay.
so it's all very new news. But yeah, fingers crossed it happens and happens fairly soon because
Yeah.
I do like playing the physical card game and want to play it on my phone.
Now let's all play a game where we guess about what Jeannie's gonna talk about.
Boobies.
It's no fun if you guess it right on the first try.
Oh, did I get it right?
You're meant to at least seem semi-surprised when I say,
Gonna be Gran Turismo Sport.
okay, let's be at least semi-realistic here with the subject matter. Okay, it's
League of Legends.
Oh, I mean, I could have. They announced a really cool champion recently.
I didn't actually have any interest in League of Legends, Ginny.
Okay, well, you've got your pick because I've been up to date with the hashtag news. You can pick from the League of Legends and its new communist champion or titties.
Look, knowing the audience of this podcast, probably go the second.
Got it.
No
Okay,
one
cool.
enjoys League. No one enjoys
Okay.
League.
Wait,
That is
No.
fair enough.
communist champion though?
Yeah,
No.
That piqued my interest. I've seen movies. I haven't seen a communist champion in League, but I'm
we
sorry.
can talk about this privately. So that was not meant to be like a come on. That was just
That was quite aggressive.
You sure?
sorry. Yeah, that was very good for me. Sorry. I'll tone it down a bit into not aggressive harassment, but aggressive thirst. So, as Matt will already know, Dead or Alive Extreme 3 is coming out for the Switch and the PlayStation 4 on the 20th of March, 2019. So, a couple months away, about as far away as Total War 3 Kingdoms. But obviously, unlike Total War 3 Kingdoms, which only has Jax in it, this has a lot of boobs. So, I guess for me, the notable news as part of this is that Lei Fang and Misaki are actually going to be in Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet. So for those who don't really know or are familiar with the premise of this particular game, you look at titties and well,
It's a
you
really
look
good
at titties,
summation of the game, actually.
you look at titties, DLC, and women move around tantalizingly in a beach atmosphere.
Oh, you take photos of them.
Pretty much, it's the least me game ever, so I will never play this.
That's
Parker.
completely fine. You don't have to play it. But why I wanted to bring up Misaki and Lei Fang is because Lei Fang originally missed the cut for DOA Extreme 3. She was meant to be, there was like a character popularity contest where the devs were like, hey, horny dudes, who should be in the game? And she lost to Helena. But now she's back, along with a new fan favorite, Misaki, who is from Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation, which was a free-to-play PC game, which I don't recommend, even if you're really, really horny. In any regard, Misaki comes with a cat girl costume, tail and all,
Of course
and
she does.
Lei Fang comes with a very impractical bikini. So there are going to be 11 sexy extreme costumes and 2 special forbidden costumes. And if you want to buy the collector's edition of Scarlet, you get a Misaki Extreme 3D mouse pad, which I can only assume is going to be a mouse
It's
pad.
the 3D one, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Who
pretty
forbids these costumes? Is there like a council that says you cannot use these? Or do you need to be 18 and up to use the forbidden ones?
I don't know how that system's going to work. Maybe there's in-game unlocks, but for those of you that are going to get on the Switch, and this is sort of the main news item, the Nintendo Switch version, according to Koei Tecmo, has a new, what they're calling a soft 4D engine. So that combines the soft engine in all its masterful glory and Nintendo Switch's HD Rumble. So the aim of this is to provide the feeling of different physical effects to go with the visuals of the soft engine before your eyes.
I think you've got that around the wrong way, Ginny, actually.
Do I?
Yeah, the Switch one has the HD Rumble, but it's actually the existing engine. The PS4 one has the soft engine plus whatever they're calling it.
Oh, right. Sorry, my mistake. Yes, no. But the Switch's HD Rumble apparently is
Yeah.
going to have independent left and right Joy-Con movement and vibration,
Which is the
So-
important thing, let's face it.
which is the important thing because if you're only grabbing one titty, only one titty should move.
But didn't it already have this?
Not like separately, not like the way that they're printing it on the Switch. So,
We should cancel games.
I mean, like the Senran Kagura one was just extremely violent vibration for no particular reason. Like, when you're holding a tit, they don't vibrate like crazy. So this is, I guess, supposed to
Can we cut the pod- No, okay. That's it. I'm calling it there.
I mean, she's got a point. There's nothing worse than never mind. When it's just vibrating like crazy.
Alan,
We're
let's
leaving
do
it-
Hatsune Miku music, please, please, please.
あらささやりびらりりんらばりつかんりんなんでんなんどまばりかたばりばりばりびびびびびりすでんでんなんどまばりんなんでん 차차 야리비다비빈 나바리 딴빔 란덴 난도 와바리 빠따 바리 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 비비비비비 수댄덴 난도 와바리 난덴 난데 하로 와다바리 난덴 난데 하로 와다바리 난덴 난딩 난덴 난딩 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 딩딩딩 하나 차차 야리비다비빈 나바리 딴빔 란덴 난도 와바리 빠따 바리 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 비비비비비 수댄덴 난도 와바리 난덴 난데 하로 와다바라바라바 누드누드데 야부 와비까리 난덴 난도 와다가다다다다 두구두구데 야부 하나 차차 야리비다비빈 나바리 딴빔 란덴 난도 와바리 빠따 바리 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 비비비비비 수댄덴 난도 와바리 난덴 난데 하로 와다바라바라바 누드누드데 야부 와비까리 난덴 난도 와다가다다다다 두구두구데 야부
Welcome back. We have Silence Ginny, and now we can talk about the games of January. We didn't really sign this.
We didn't do a very good job of it, to be fair.
It's going to talk in and
I
out.
got way too much in about titties and vibration.
There's a lot of vibration.
Moving away from titties for a moment, we're going to talk about the games of January. Obviously, it's midway through the month, but we didn't do a podcast earlier, so we're just going to talk about the stuff that has already come out this month and the stuff that's going to come out for the rest of it. So you probably know that New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe released recently. That's 164 levels of Mario goodness, so it's good. It's very good. Also out was Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. That's basically a HD remaster of a previously existing very good game, so play it. And then, looking forward to what we've got to look forward to for the rest of the month, Onimusha Warlords comes out pretty soon. That's a really good HD remaster of a really good game as well. Yakuza 4 comes out for PS4. I think that's only in Asia for now, but
Yeah.
if you buy it,
Yeah.
it's got the English translation already in there. So once it's out on January 17, you'll be able to actually play it in your native language if you're an English speaker, which is good. Of actually new games, Y2K,
Yeek.
I think it's meant to be Y2K, a
I
postmodern
know it is.
RPG.
But I refuse to call it by that. It's too millennial for me.
It's coming out. It's an indie RPG thing with a lot of homages to the 80s and 90s. So that's pretty cool if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, which was me because I'm old. Ace Combat 7 comes out,
Yeah.
which is really good. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a review code sitting there waiting for me to redeem it. And yeah, big fan of Ace Combat and all it does, and should be good on the PS4. Another Switch game comes out on the same day. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, and that's Goichi Suda, and that means it's going to be balls insane, but great. If you're a fan of strategy games, there's a title coming out called At the Gates. Now, this is a game that was kickstarted back in 2014, and it's been in development, obviously, for quite a while now. But it's actually by the previous lead designer on the Civilization series, and it's about the fall of the Roman Empire, so it should be pretty interesting. It looks good, that's for sure. No, Ginny's very interested in that one. Life is Strange 2 episode 2 comes out, which is good. You should have played the previous one. You should be looking forward to this one.
Two very different takes.
And then the game that makes Alan very happy. Happy. We're a bit worried about Alan, actually. Resident Evil 2 comes out this month, and this is a full remake. It's not just a HD remaster. It's actually a ground-up rebuild of Resident Evil 2 with new codes involved, I believe. I was promised that.
It's going to be good. I'm going to talk about this later.
And then finally, the game that actually nobody cares about because it's going to be shit. Kingdom Hearts 3.
You are designed to just be planetary to me specifically.
Yeah, God put me out on this earth to torment you.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it looks
Like
terrible.
a 1-2 punch of just vibration and Matt.
Real talk, Alan. I don't have the time to play through 70 games to understand the plot
That
of Kingdom
doesn't-
Hearts 3, so
It's not the game's fault.
it is kind of.
No, it's not. You are wrong.
It is kind of.
If you jumped into the fifth book of Game of Thrones, you wouldn't know what was happening.
Imagine if Final Fantasy 16 came out and they were like, "Oh yeah, you got to play Final Fantasy 1 through 15
It's not how
start
that
to finish to understand what was Final Fantasy 16 's
Lord.
about."
Okay, boys. Okay, let's have a more productive discussion and move on to what Lee wants to play in
Yes.
January. Lee,
Lee.
what are you looking forward
Actually,
to?
first of all, I was about to say, what if Final Fantasy 15 released and then they did what they did? Like, you had to watch the movie and read the novel and everything before. They already did that, basically, what your example for 16 was. But anyway, as far as like, for what, just January?
Yeah, just January, buddy. Take it away.
Honestly, I was looking forward to that Binding of Isaac update. That was my main thing.
That's a reasonable thing to look forward to.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy 15 just came out with 4.5, patch 4.5. Forget what they titled it. They've always got some weird title for their patches, but picked that up again, resubscribed. You got Smite coming onto the Switch later on in the month too, which that could actually be really cool. Yeah, I know.
Game, though.
Like,
I go would be all right, except
What
you
was
need an internet connection.
Yeah,
really?
that game is bad. I liked it a lot, but they ruined it.
I never actually played it. I used to play a shitload of League of Legends, right? Like way back when it was actually popular. And now, like, I'm actually dead serious. I'm dead serious when I ask, do people actually play League of Legends? Because I'm fairly certain that nobody does, except for robots.
My God.
Or like, I don't know. Like, I was surprised that the utterance of the title was even mentioned in 2019, let alone 2018. Or, well, you know what I mean.
You know the MOBA I always liked? The Lord of the Rings one.
Of course, you did.
I did. I really enjoyed that one. I got really pro at it.
They did an RTS
Like
too.
pro. I got really
Yeah, the RTS were good.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
the
just never really
RTSs
kicked
were
off.
brilliant. They were
They just weren't
absolutely
very
amazing.
like mechanically sound.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were brilliant games. I can't believe. I'm to this day. I'm so upset that Warner Brothers got the license for Lord of the Rings and EA lost it because Warner Brothers have done crap all with it.
So, Ginny, what is the games that you're looking forward to this month?
Alan saving me another rant.
Okay.
Look, jump in, help me.
Well, I am actually really looking forward to what Matt has already mentioned I'm looking forward to, which is At the Gates. So when I'm not staring at titties, I'm playing strategy games. So I have really pumped.
This.
Really pumped for
One
At
thing
the
we can
Gate.
never say about you, Jenny, is that you have a one kind of track taste in games.
Yeah, I jump
Moving
around a
from
lot.
titties to hardcore strategy games. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and like ARPGs and stuff, and this, a lot of cool things. But yes, At the Gates, I played Total War: Thrones of Britannia last year and got a taste for destroying Western civilization. So really pumped to do it again.
Culture Marx is real.
Yeah, just really pumped to do it again. This time to destroy the Holy Roman Empire. And like I said, it looks great. The game's been in development for ages. I remember first hearing about it in 2011, as early as then, but it was a crowdfunded until 2013/14. So it's been kicking around for a long time. And I'm glad to see that's actually not just like died and gone to development hell. It's actually coming. So I am very happy with that. And I guess on top of that, obviously Kingdom Hearts 3, controversial opinion. I actually really like this franchise. And I know Matt will call me insane. But I'm used to disagree with Matt about something, so it's fine. I'm really pumped. I mean, ignoring the fact that there's a whole Monsters Inc. level where Sora looks like a fucking furry, the rest of the game, I'm like 100% on board with. And I just actually really want the series to end. Like, I want my pain to end. Like, it's meant to be the final chapter in the
I
Dark
agree
Sea.
with you. I want the series to end.
I want my pain to end. Like, this is... I just want it to be over. I want this to be the last thing that I have to consume from Kingdom Hearts so I can put it behind me in my life and just look back on it with a mixture of fondness and pity for myself. Like,
self-hatred, but it's okay.
I just want it to be over. Like, I played over 200 hours of the mobile game because
Why?
it seemed important at the time, okay?
How
You have
much?
to understand the plot, Alan.
No, you can just watch the movie. As a movie.
You can just watch the movie. But I'm the kind of person that does things like 3,000%. So I figured I just got hooked. Like I got an unholy level into this game. So basically, I've suffered through too much now to not play Kingdom Hearts 3. I've put myself through the meat grinder. I have to play as a point of pride. So I really, really want this game to come out so I can play it, defeat it, and get on with my life like a bad breakup. And like everybody actually knows it's going to end. This is where I'm at with Kingdom Hearts 3. So that's the one I look forward to. That's cool. Not
Hooray.
bad.
Yeah, that should be good.
Matt, what are you
Mm.
looking forward to?
I'm going to talk about Travis Strikes again because
Yeah.
I don't actually want to break embargo, but fuck it, I'm going to break embargo. It's really good.
Should I? Can you not do that so I don't have to edit it out later?
It's really good. I
It's okay.
don't want to give away too much, but it is.
I mean, you have.
Yeah, you're just going to break it back.
I've just said I like it and I've played it. But you know, by the time this podcast goes up, the embargo's closed anyway, and I'm sure Nintendo won't sue me.
Yeah, so they were so kind to Soldier Boy.
But yeah, I mean, Goichi Suda on a bad day is better than most game developers on their best day. And I love Goichi Suda's energy and attitude with his games, and he always does a good job of mixing really punky kind of aesthetics and attitude with a lot of humor, and it's great. I'm so happy that Travis is back.
Hooray.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the games I like.
Resident Evil. Okay, Alan, how was the demo?
Yeah, I haven't played it. I want to play it.
Okay.
I refuse to play it because it's the beginning of the game, and that seems like counterintuitive to being spooked.
Don't you only get one shot at it? Is it like
Yep, it's a
half
one-shot
round, that's
demo,
it, and then you're out? That's it?
Yep.
No more?
Yep.
Demo dead?
which is cool. I like that. Anyway, yeah, the game's looking really cool. I'm excited for it. Everyone I've talked to who's played it is saying that it's really good, which is unsurprising given how good the original game was.
You can lose an arm
You cannot lose an arm.
and then use a herb to bring it back.
Matt. All right, we're going to go to music.
Realism.
Oh no, Alan's just sick about shit this week. He's like,
No, seriously,
okay.
why are you looking forward to Resident Evil 2, Alan? Talk to us.
It's going to be good, that's why. And I don't really explain myself to you. I'm over it.
Well, I was giving you an in then. I was giving you an opening.
No, it should be good. I don't know. I really like the RE4 style of game, but I also really like Resident Evil 2. So it's pretty much everything I've wanted. The Resident Evil 7 engine's very, very good. Should work quite well. And
Is it the
yeah,
exact same engine as Resident Evil 7?
yes, they're using
Oh,
the same
okay.
engine.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good engine, actually.
it's really
I'll give
good.
you that.
So
For all
yeah,
my issues about Resident Evil, that engine was really good.
it looks good. It looks really, really good, actually. I just can't wait for it. It's very exciting. I'm excited. It's been like 20 years since the original came out, so like, it should be good. I'm keen. And with that, let's play some music. Let's actually play some music this
Resident Evil
time.
2?
Yeah. And welcome back. I'm now back in a happy state. It's all good. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's dandy, as they say. We're going to talk a little bit now about, because it is the beginning of the year, like we said, some things that we're looking forward to for the rest of the year, because there's a lot of stuff. And I'm excited. I'm very excited.
2019 is shaping up pretty good already.
Yeah, we've got Days Gone.
Yeah, so exciting. Ghosts of Tsushima.
Ghosts of Days Gone. It's going to be really good. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming out this year, which honestly will make my bank account cry, which is fine. It's all good. It's understandable. I'm going to start us off here with like a little bit of my personal looking forward to month thing. First of all, we've got Metro Exodus coming out this year, which I don't know if you guys have played the Metro games, but I really like them. I've also read the novel as well and quite enjoyed that.
I got the novel in the game, I think.
Oh, cool.
I think they were doing a version where they put the novel in the game. I think
that's pretty
what I
neat.
think of. Anyway, I read it. Yeah, I really like Metro.
Yeah,
amazingly enough.
It's a really good series.
And I love it.
It's pretty spooky, which is nice. It feels like what Fear was back in 2008.
And it's got a cool kind of fascist versus communist theme going on.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I like that.
Last Light had that quite full on, which was fantastic. Yeah. If you haven't played those games, they're like $20 on sale pretty much every time there's a sale on PSN. So pick them up; they're good. That'll be coming out. I believe it's an open world thing, which I'm a bit iffy about, but we'll see how we go. We've also got Dirt Rally 2, and if you haven't played Dirt Rally 1, that game is fantastic as well. Very, very good fun. If you're into rally games, you will enjoy this. And on that line as well, we've got Devil May Cry 5 coming out, which is going to be sick, even though it's only 15 hours long.
Only 15 hours?
Say what?
Yeah,
Nothing else matters. It's just 15 hours. It must.
Oh my god, guys, come on.
It's only 15 hours, Ginny. It's not enough. It's never enough.
Nothing else matters. It's just 15 hours. I mean, if you're staring at a blank screen for 16 hours, it would be a better game.
Yeah. And then we have Yoshi's Crafted World, which I have no reason not to be excited for. Because it's Yoshi.
So
it's a Yoshi game. I'm going to call it there, though, because I'm sure that other people have games they're keen about. And I could just go on about this for a while, but I'm not going to do that. What's the game you're looking forward to, Ginny?
Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet.
That's the next section.
I was heard Dead or Alive 6.
Oh dear. I got confused. It's not the next section.
There's a lot of Dead or Alive coming this year.
There's a lot of Dead or Alive. That's too much.
So
it's going to be right in your face, Alan.
Yeah, so much. But apart from that, like other games, weirdly, this might be like an unpopular opinion. I'm actually looking forward to Code Vein.
Yeah, no, it looks cool.
Oh yeah,
like,
me too.
Is that the Souls-like?
It's like the anime Souls-like. I've heard some things which make me a little bit skeptical about it from mates that have maybe partaken in some of the playable stuff out there for people that review games.
That was such an incredibly roundabout way of saying that they've done a demo.
You could have just said you saw it on YouTube or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So people have played demos and apparently it sucks. But I'm hopeful. I love Dark Souls games. I love anime waifus. So hopefully the fact that those two are combining will be enough to save the game from any perceived pitfalls that other people might have been experiencing. And yeah, I guess aside from that, I was looking forward to Total War 3 Kingdoms because I love me a strategy game and I love me 3 Kingdoms because it's a great freaking story and 3 Kingdoms games, good 3 Kingdoms games, kind of few and far between. But what I've seen of Total War 3 Kingdoms looks really, really good. And the fact that they've got like different modes that emphasize the Legends aspect of 3 Kingdoms versus the RTS strategy aspect of the main game. It's good. I am excited.
Do they pronounce Sao Cal Cal?
I actually have not listened to any voiceovers yet because I don't want to hurt myself.
You just know they're going to do it.
Someone's going to do it. There's going to be a guy that does a gameplay video that just completely fucks it all up. But I'm used to that. And yeah, I guess that's what I'm looking forward to outside of the games that I already talked about earlier today. One more thing. Final Fantasy XIV, the Shadowbringers expansion is going to be so good. I'm like up to date on the main story quest. Like just up to date yesterday. There's a new patch dropping next week where they're going to release Blue Mage. Everything's falling into place. Everyone's appropriately emo and or incapacitated and or turning to darkness. I love it. It is the edgy anime shit that I need in my life. I'm so blessed that it exists, and I can't wait to play it.
Everything
You know, the funniest thing
sounds
about
like Kingdom
Final
Hearts.
Fantasy 14 is that for all those expansions and extra contents, the Good King Mog is still the best bit of the game.
Good King Monk is a very good bit of the game, but I think that the Viera appearing is going to be the best part of the game.
No, but Viera appearing doesn't have Good King Mog as the music track in the background.
Okay, we should cut to. I'm kidding.
Oh, we've got a music bit for the after this segment. Excellent.
Oh, God, are
it's
you
going to
gonna-
be Good King Mog. I love that.
Okay, Lee,
That's a
Lee,
great song.
Lee, what do you want?
Okay, let's slide back into Shadowbringers for a second because I wanted to talk.
I would like to.
First of all, I got that damn mount, the Moogle mount that I did not know plays the Mog King song. That was the first time I actually had to learn to turn off the mount music. But as far as Shadowbringers goes,
I
like,
don't like you, Lee.
oh, I gotta agree. I feel it's like the perfect way for them to progress the story. I mean, not just like knowing the story, but it's sort of like a like from what I understand. Obviously, I don't. Nobody really knows exactly how it's going to play out, but you're sort of playing the other side, I guess. Like what we're being hinted at is that we're going to experience the Warrior of Darkness's story. At least that's the impression that I'm getting. Is that is that accurate? Does that sound accurate? Okay.
Yep.
So it could just be like we could go into a whole like Shadow Realm or just like sort of a Universe 2 version, like a multiverse theory or something. I don't know. It could be really cool.
I'm sure
But
that's what's gonna happen with all the planet shit that they've been teasing with the S's and stuff. Like I feel like we're going in that direction.
I
Yeah.
also would like to make a point really quickly that I thought you were just going to say you could go into a hole. And, like, that was the new world. Like, it's just a small hole that you've dug for yourself. Like, I'd like that.
I
The
just
true
want-
darkness is the hole inside.
I think Final Fantasy 14 is at the point like World of Warcraft when people who play the game start talking about it. Anybody who hasn't played the game is just lost.
Just check
sort of out of the loop. Yeah. Well, I'm not really.
Absolutely lost.
That's why I'm not like trying to spoil anything in particular, or just allude to the story, but just the
Could
name.
spoil it,
The
and I
name
would
is
still not know what was happening.
to actually spoil
Fair
the
enough.
story of Final Fantasy 14, you need about 5 or 6 hours to talk through the plot.
That's it. I mean, okay, if you skip Realm Reborn, you
Just
might,
to summarize it.
yeah. But as far as like, okay, non-Final Fantasy, and actually, I did want to say something about Code Vein as well because I was looking forward to that one too. And from the gameplay trailer, or not trailers, the footage that I've seen, yeah, it does look a little. How do I put this?
Bad.
I don't know. I don't want to say bad. I don't want to say bad. I do want to say carbon copy though, and it seems like there's not going to be enough to make it very unique from other entries into the genre, which makes me a little disappointed because from what it sounds like, and I didn't really see too much of this in the gameplay, but there's supposed to be like vampire powers and shit, and I don't know, vampires are cool. They just do some like life leech kind of deal. I don't know if there's anything even like that in Bloodborne. I never played that one, but
It's not a vampire game, so it's fine.
I mean, it's got blood in the title, so I kind of think it's one of it. I don't know. I just know it's another Soulsborne.
So that was like really mean. I'm sorry.
But anyway, what I'm really looking forward to is coming in March. Hopefully, not getting pushed back again. It's Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toe Jam and
What?
Earl. Toe Jam and Earl. What's the title? Back in the Groove. That's it. So it's basically a faithful remaster of the old Sega Genesis game, Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl 1. We don't talk about Toe Jam and Earl 2, the platformer. But Toe Jam and Earl 1, I as obviously Alan knows, huge fan of roguelikes. And this one was right up my alley. Like when I was a kid, this had to have been like the first experience with a roguelike ever. But of course, I don't think we didn't even call it that back in the day. That genre had, I mean, the game Rogue existed, but it hadn't become the legend that it is today. But yeah. I think that I'm really excited for Smash DLC. Just mostly for the announcements. I have my speculations and my hopes. Let's see.
Actually, can
I
we
know-
can we
I'm
just
not
have a
gonna-
little moment, by the way, where I want to talk about Smash for a second? I'm going to really quickly derail this podcast. So, if you play anyone who was added to the game after 2000, you're sweaty. Like, I'm over you. If you only play Donkey Kong, that's okay. That's how you play Smash now. That's my
What?
new logic. If you play anyone from Melee onwards, you are try hard and like don't belong in the game. That's it.
Wow.
That's quite the hot take. Got any more?
Yeah. Yeah, if you play Inkling, you are the worst human being.
Yeah. Okay. Top bullshit. Well, not necessarily bullshit. Like they're fairly easy to
Inkling.
counter, kind of. Inkling, yes and no. I find the easiest counter to Inkling is getting them to think that they're safe, and once they're like a good distance across, they usually go for the the forward B that does the little grenade throw.
Yeah.
Because the ending lag for that is horrendous. If you just dodge that really quick, it's usually a free hit.
So what you can do as well is you just have the always be spiking system where you just only spike, and that's how you win the game.
The best character is clearly Simon because he's got a whip.
No, but see, Matt, he was added into the game after 2000, so you're sweaty.
Yeah, but he whips. He whips it good.
Is that the criteria that someone's whips are good? That's it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
that's very
want
important
a guy
to
with good whips.
It's
don't-
very important.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry for derailing this podcast.
No, I'm happy to talk about Smash. Shit. Jeez.
Yeah, the DLC pack looks cool. I'm excited.
I want Chocobo Dungeon. That's
yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Chocobo for Smash.
The Wii one for like Chocobo and Smash is a good thing and it should happen. And I can't believe Nintendo hasn't because Nintendo's so stupid. But
Yeah, if we're doing side characters like Piranha Plant, yeah, we should slip that.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if they can put bloody Cloud in this stupid game, they can put Chocobo.
Wow. This video is unwarranted.
I'm very mad about this, Ginny.
Where's
This is
my
a natural
boy,
fit.
Tina?
Chocobo is a natural fit. He's got synergies with Smash Brothers, and they just screw him over.
I want
Very angry.
Tidus.
Did you say you want titties?
I want
Yeah,
Tidus.
he does. He does. He really does.
I want Tidus. He's a good
Secretly,
boy.
he plays Dead or Alive and all that because.
Well, if you want titties, Alan, this next segment is gonna blow your mind.
But Chocobo Dungeon, I love the Wii one. I love the Wii one an awful lot. Actually, played it a lot. Looking forward to having it on the Switch. Really, really looking forward to that. What else am I looking forward to this year? Lots of samurai stuff, which is good.
Sekiro.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Thanks for that. I'm really looking forward to that. Ninja Souls, which will be good. I'm sure. I'm a bit upset that Activision gets money out of it. I don't know why From Software wanted to partner with Activision for any reason, but anyway, they did, and it looks like it's going to be a really good game. Does Neo 2 come out this year?
No, I don't believe so. I think it was given a rough thing for either this year or next year.
Okay. Well, we'll find out a lot about it, and to be honest, that'll be one of my highlights of the year anyway. Neo was such a great game.
Yeah. What about the Surge
It's
2?
kind of like what Souls was designed specifically for me. It would look like Neo. Sengoku history plus big Oni demon things and all that stuff is really good. So I'm looking forward to that. What I'm not looking forward to is Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh,
That's gonna be
wow.
shit.
I'm not surprised that you
Flat
brought that up. Literally every podcast that we've
Flat
done
out.
with Matt since that game's been announced has been like a little like side away comment that just is I hate that game. Which yeah, I understand.
I'll play
Oh.
Days Gone before I play that game.
On that logic, actually, Two Worlds 3 is coming out next year,
I'm
supposedly.
looking forward to
Two
that.
Worlds 3.
Yeah, I don't know
Shit.
why. Terrible
What?
series.
Alan, it's great.
What are you talking? It's one of the worst series I've ever played.
Oh, I love Two Worlds. Two Worlds is so cool.
I liked the concept of it, but I could never really get into it. I don't know what it was about it. It just didn't gel.
I love, honestly, I love kind of those B grade Western RPGs. I love Risen, the Risen series.
But Risen actually has something to it.
I loved Arcana. Arcania.
It's the same development team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Two Worlds is as well, I think.
Mm.
It's Piranha Bytes, isn't it?
I have no idea. But yeah, that game's
Anyway,
sucks.
I'm really looking forward to that. They're just so bad.
That doesn't make me want to play it. But however, I think we're gonna have to end this section. But before we do, we have one
We
last
did have
game.
one. Oh, you
We have
probably
one-
got me into it.
It's called Untitled Goose Game.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
And that's potentially Q1 or Q2 this year, and I want it
Oh, I
very
can't wait for
badly.
that.
I'm
That
going to
goose
play
is my
that.
hero.
It's a good boy.
Like he's a goose that's a like pure dick to everybody. I love it.
It's like me as a goose.
I aspire to be him.
What about we're kind of forgetting about Cyberpunk, right? Did we list that?
Is
I
that
said
coming
this
out?
year.
Is that this year?
I thought it was 2020.
No.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought it was coming out this year.
Yes.
If it was
Nothing
this
says-
year, it
nothing
would be
says
on my list
Cyberpunk
because
like
I
a game that's
love
made by a
that
team
shit.
of about
Mm.
4,000 people.
Mm.
It's going to be so punky.
I'm into it.
Made by a major corporation on the Polish Stock Exchange.
Oh my god. Look, just let me enjoy robot titties, Matt. Can I just let you have one thing?
Alright, anyway, moving on.
Good King Mob.
Double click your tuff, split your hairs and ruffle your fluff. Coop-dee-coop, we'll throw you for a loop. A raven waller
And welcome back. So, for the final section of the podcast, we are going to talk about Dead or Alive. The reason being that, as we speak, the network test is live on PlayStation, and Ginny and I have been playing a bit, and it's good. It doesn't have the characters I wanted, but it's good. It's only got a couple, 5, 6 characters?
Like,
It's a lot for a stress test, though.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's about a quarter of the roster, I think.
It's less than that, I'm sure. Like 1 of 5 rows or something, but yeah, I guess about there.
Maybe a fifth, yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, he lets you play with the new guy,
Diego?
Diego, whatever his name is. He's a bit of a punk.
I'm
He's a
assuming
dude,
he's-
so
I'm assuming
he's kind of
he's
missing the
just
point of
Miguel
Dead or
from
Alive.
Tekken.
What was that?
I'm assuming he's just Miguel from Tekken.
He basically is, actually.
Yeah.
He's like
Angry
a
Spanish man.
like a large, kind of slow, really buff dude who wears like a muscle shirt and a vest.
So
And likes
Miguel.
doing headbutts.
Yeah, Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally
And,
just
like-
Miguel.
He likes to elbow drop women in the face.
Yeah.
I can respect that. That's a high T count play.
He can respect someone.
Yeah, so how's the gameplay though?
Okay, I guess we're moving on from that. Well, for me anyway, so this is just like ranked play, so you can't just like find one of your mates and just bash them.
Yeah, I was really.
I mean, you can do that if you live
I
in
wanted to play you,
Wollongong.
Ginny.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to play against Matt and bash Marie Rose's face in, but I couldn't because she's not one of the playable characters.
Yeah,
So
I was really upset by this.
yeah, but no, I mean, for some reason, the game lets you pick like connection strengths. Like, don't want to if you don't want to be connected with someone that's below a certain amount of like connection strength, you can just opt out, I guess. But all my connections were like really, really weak. Like, people that I found were like on like 1 out of 5 bars or something, and there was like noticeable input like delay. Like, we were clearly not 2 people playing at our best. Like a lot of like mistimed holds and mistimed throws and stuff. And it was like all too easy it felt too easy to win, I guess. But because of the internet issue, but I'm sure they'll iron that shit out before release. It was just,
I mean, I would
it is
not hold your
Australia-
breath.
Or Australia and New Zealand, unfortunately, I don't think we're getting servers, so
oh, great.
there is that to deal with
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. But that's been the case with all the Dead Alive and People Deal, I guess.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I've never played fighting games online anyway, as Alan and my endless complaints about Smash Brothers and he talking about Smash Brothers online attest. For me, fighting games are kind of local multiplayer, so I haven't really been able to play this game the way I want to, but
Mm.
yeah.
I wish Nintendo would pick up that latency filter. That'd be nice because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this has happened to you guys yet, but I've actually been banned a couple times online because of disconnects from other that were definitely not my fault. Just randomly disconnected. And no, I'm not SDing because I get mad. I have before, but I haven't been doing that.
I think everyone has. It's not a thing of shame at this point.
Dude, okay, if you go 0-7 and and a fucking Diddy Kong is just shitting on you, and you're like 1-3 against it, yeah, I'm gonna take a hike after a little while. But no, that'd be nice, a little latency thing. I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah,
mean
the latency filter will be especially useful for us here in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, it's much worse. I can guarantee you, like, however bad it is in the US, it's probably about 4 or
It's
5
not.
times.
It's really not bad. I kind of forgot about that for a second. I really can't complain.
Yeah,
I usually get
we
good
connect to EU servers typically, so there's always a fair bit of latency in there. I didn't have the same experience that Ginny did. For me, the combat wasn't noticeably lagging. It was enough that timing counters was a little bit difficult, or at least compared to what I found when I play local in Dead or Alive 5. But other than struggling with that a bit, because for me, I always play Dead or Alive quite counter heavy, and I really kind of focus on getting the timing of those right, and then really pissing people off by not letting them hit me. But I needed to be a little bit more aggressive, I guess, with this network test. But yeah, I don't know. I played as Kasumi, and she plays a bit differently between Dead or Alive 5, which is good, because otherwise it'd be the same game, and I might as well just play Dead or Alive 5. And yeah, character models are good. It looks good.
Tell me about the Ford DAC.
The what?
Yep. It's fighting game inside baseball. No, does it seem to be fairly competent as a fighter though?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know when was the last Dead or Alive you played properly, Alan?
Like 3, and I played it twice.
I've never played any Dead or Alive. What is it like similar to? Is it like Tekken?
No, it's more like Virtua Fighter, I think.
No, I mean the way I find it to be quite an accessible fighter, so it's quite easy to get into for anybody. The complexities, I guess, come from the counter system. So I find Dead or Alive to be very counter heavy, and it's about being able to read your opponent's moves and then input whether it's a high, medium, low counter. And yeah, so it has its own unique feel, but for all the jokes about the movies and stuff, Dead or Alive has got a good combat system, and I think with Dead or Alive 5, people started to realize that. So I think with Dead or Alive 6, Koei Tecmo is definitely trying to push for a broader audience for this one.
That it's an actual game and not just an ogling simulator.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the option to turn the blood and the sex. I mean, the blood and the
Can't turn the sex off, Ginny.
the blood and the sweat.
Blood and the sex. That
No,
sounds
the
like a
blood
bad
and bruising
name.
can be turned off, which is good, which I do, because the last thing I want to do is see my characters get bruised and bloodied.
See, I turned it on for mine, and I actually didn't notice at all until the end when you've won or lost, and they show the winner on the screen, and then I noticed that Diego's abs were like covered in blood, and I was like, I feel really bad because I had just been fighting Ayane, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I do to her? Like my whole chest is covered in blood. Like I destroyed her. Like I felt pretty bad afterwards, but like when you're in the flow of the game, you don't really get close enough, even when they're doing their specials, for you to actually see it. Like when the last match I had versus this Ayane that I apparently bloodied up was super close, and she got her special off of me, and we were both like basically one block counter away from dying. And when she was casting her counter, when the screen zoomed in onto her face, she was fine, like physically. So I guess, I don't know if that's an implementation issue, if that's like what they wanted to, like, I guess leave the blood in for, I don't know, between rounds spectating, but not actually have it really kind of coherently in the game, or like during a match, or not really visible that well during a match. I couldn't see it.
I think that might have pulled back from what their original intent was with the violence.
Yeah, I think they have pulled it back because I did see at least a lot more visible bruising when I played it at PAX Australia last year. So I guess they are maybe kind of winding it back on the violence front.
But if you turn it off, it's pretty cool. It's very typical Dead or Alive, I guess, finishing kind of animations and stuff there, because they're all sweating, and because through the fight they've probably been hit by some special or other which has torn some of their clothes, and all of that kind of stuff is still there.
God,
it's still there. And no doubt there'll be risque.
clothes aren't paper mache.
There will be risque DLC costumes and stuff, but the actual base game is not something that, those jokes that people would say that they'd be embarrassed to be playing the game if their partner walked in. They don't apply this time around, I don't think.
Yeah,
certainly no more than Soul Calibur. I mean, Soul Calibur was pretty fan servicey.
Yeah.
Very.
It was pretty cool.
It was good, but it was fan servicey. I think Dead or Alive, the base game, is actually no worse than that. I think the fan service will be added in via DLC. Like there will be swimsuits and school uniforms and stuff.
Oh wait, how do you define fan servicey insofar as like Soul Calibur?
Ivy.
I was going to say, like, if you can't say anything but Ivy, like what?
Sungmina,
and also like Taki.
exposed midriff. It was a good midriff.
That good midriff, though.
It was a very good midriff.
Can we cancel this conversation?
Okay. Sorry, Alan. There's also Gerald, and Gerald's pretty sexy.
Gerald of the Revealer.
Gerald of the Gerald of the French Riviera is pretty sexy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Jerry of the Nile. Yeah, final thoughts. Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I mean, it's got delayed slightly.
Yeah, by like
it was
2 weeks.
originally planned to be released middle February. Now it's March 1. So a slight delay, but that's okay. I can wait. And it means that in March we get 2 Dead or Alives because we get Dead or Alive 6 on March 1 and then Dead or Alive Extreme on March 20 or thereabouts,
Yeah.
which is good. Lots of Dead or Alive.
Cool. All right. Well, that's probably going to wrap us up for this week, I'd say.
Yeah.
Let's go with some music from Dead or Alive. I don't know, Matt. You have to tell me what music's actually good. I don't really know.
I don't think there is any.
Wow.
It's a fighting game. Music
Okay, I'm going to play some Smash music.
Yeah, some Smash
The
Yeah.
Lost World map song is not that bad.
Okay. Well, I'll do that then. Alrighty. Well, we'll see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone.
とりどりの色たちが紡ぐ炎の螺旋果てしなく続いてく遥かから受け継いだ光空が落ちたあの日目にしたのは朽ちる余剰をかつきない良い闇か永遠に続くようなしじまの中無数の魂がほのかな鼓動を打つ命の灯火すべての人たち吹き抜けてゆく風に身を委ねたまま生けるものがかすかな光を放ち消える悠久の時の中かける定めと絆とりどりの色たちが紡ぐ炎の螺旋果てしなく続いてく遥かから受け継いだ光巡る因果の中息が芽吹き新たなる命が包むこの大地で戦い交わるすべての人たち立ち上がり踏み出して明日へ進みゆく生けるものがかすかな光で織りなす星悠久の彼方まで魂たちは歌うとりどりの色たちが紡ぐ炎の螺旋果てしなく続いてくどこまでも流れゆく光生けるものがかすかな光